I started speaking when I was just a teenager. I had no experience, no reputation, nobody knew who I was, nor did they care, and yet I was still able to build a full-time living for myself, make millions of dollars in this industry, and book over 1,000 paid engagements before the age of 30. So in this video, I am going to show you exactly how I did that. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jared Scott. If you're new here, I'm the speaker that's booked over 1,000 paid gigs in my career before the age of 30, as you just heard in the intro, and today I'm telling you how I did that. There are 3 very important business life lessons that I've learned along my journey that I am going to share with you today. I believe wholeheartedly that if you implement these lessons into your life, there is no way you will not see results. Lesson number 1. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about your business like you care about your business. Nobody's really aware of what you're doing. They're focused on what they're doing. I know that might hurt some of your feelings, but at the end of the day, that's not going to make you a successful business owner being stuck in your feelings. I need you to step outside of you and your ego and realize that everybody's got their own stuff going on and they're not worried about your success. They don't care. All right, if you haven't clicked off yet, you're still here. I'm going to give you the silver lining. They don't care until you make them care. You see, when I started my career, not only did I have 0 experience, I had 0 help. I had no branding, I had no website, I had nobody to show me what to do. I was a kid, and kids feel like no one cares. So I already had that mindset. Nobody's coming to save me. I'm going to have to do this myself. When people booked me, I was surprised, okay? I didn't expect people to book me. Like, I have this incredible story. You need to book me. You need me. No, I knew I needed them. So I served. I showed up over and over and over again, calling people. I was emailing people. I was knocking on people's door. I mean, I was taking every single opportunity that I could get. I was speaking out in the park for free. I was doing everything that I possibly could to be seen. Now, the only reason I bring this up is because I'll talk to some speakers that actually do have a story, they have experience, but they're not willing to serve. They are entitled. They think that everybody else needs them. Like, dude, what are you talking about? There are thousands of people doing what you do. There are thousands of people in line to take your spot as soon as you slip up. Like, really, you're going to be that entitled that you're going to think that these people need you and you don't need them? We're in the service industry. We are a service, quite literally. You are here to serve. It's a universal principle. You give and you get. All the successful people that I've met in my life are very selfless. They give way more than they get, and for that reason they have abundance, more than they need, and they continue to give. This is the way that I've approached business. This is the way I've approached life, and it's worked out for me very well. I have given to people even when I didn't have it. I made sure that I took the opportunities that I needed to take. I would serve with no intentions on getting anything back, even when I was getting rejected over and over and over. In fact, let me tell you how I got my first mentor. I was watching a presentation, I was watching a speaker with my friends, I was in high school, and then after the presentation, the speaker said, if any of you know how to make this presentation better, come up to me, give your opinions. I would love to give you a voice. You know, his presentation was about student voice. And so I went up afterwards and I asked him for a job. I was like, I have this song, I have this story, I want to tell my story. And he was nice. He wasn't rude. He didn't just say no. He told me to email him. And so I emailed him, nothing came from it. And so I got online. I was determined. I wasn't going to take no for an answer. You can't tell me no if you don't know me. That's my motto. So I was like, he just don't know me yet. He don't know me yet. So I looked up where else he was speaking. He was speaking at Six Flags in Dallas, Texas. I lived in Midland, Texas at the time, so it was about a 5-hour drive. I convinced my mom to let me and my friends go. I was like, it's an anti-bullying program. It'd be good for us, you know? And so we went. We called Six Flags ahead of time, and we asked if we could perform at the entrance because there was a lot of schools being bused there. There was a lot of kids, and we told them that we were with the program and we wanted to be able to perform a song at the entrance, okay? So we booked ourselves at Six Flags. I have video of this, me performing on the stage with the Six Flags sign behind us, me and my two friends, right? And so we go watch his presentation. This was before we performed. After the presentation, I did the same thing. I waited till everybody left and I went up to him. I said, hey man, where's the job? You know, like, I got this song. You want to hear this song? And he was like, you know, I got a lot of stuff to do. He was trying to be nice and stuff like that. And I was like, it's all cool. I'm going to be performing the song later on today in the main entrance. So just come by at 4 o'clock and you could watch the song. He told me, he was like, look, man, how old are you? You know, at the time, I think I was like 17. I wasn't 18 yet, because that was his point. He was like, you can't book a rental car. You can't book a hotel. Like, I can't send you across the country. What does your mom think about this? You know, et cetera, et cetera. And so what I did was I went home and I put together an event in my hometown. I was already speaking in schools by myself. And so I went out and I passed out free tickets to my event, and I rented the downtown event center. I put on an event, and then I hired him to come speak at my event. And I gave my speech on stage before him, and I performed with a full band in front of him. And I have a video, I have an actual video panned over to this man, just mind blown that this high schooler put all this together to try to get a job. To try to get a mentorship, not even really a job. I just wanted his insight. I just wanted his direction, right? And so after that, he had no choice, but he was still honest with me. He was like, look, Jared, this is incredible, but a lot of our schools are in California. You live in Texas. He said, we really haven't broken into the Texas market. I don't have that many schools for you here. He said, I'm actually trying to move to Texas myself, and I need somebody to replace me in the LA district. It's a huge school district, a really hard school district to get in. We've worked hard to get into this district. He said, in a perfect world, if you live there, then I could give you a job. So I told him, I said, when I graduate, I'm moving to LA. He said, hey man, you graduate, you move to LA, give me a call. I still don't think he thought I was this serious, even after everything that I did. I graduated. A couple months later, I moved 1,200 miles away to Los Angeles, California, from a town with like 30, 40,000 people, Midland, Texas, all the way to a city with 10 million plus people. And here I am, bro. I hit him up on the day I landed. I was like, hey, I'm here. Where's the job? And he had no choice. He had to hire me. I did, I think, 271, maybe a little bit more. I don't know the exact number, but a few hundred engagements with him underneath his mentorship. And he showed me the real work that had to be done in order to be successful in this industry, which brings me to life lesson number 2. It takes way more outreach than you think. Talk about knowing your numbers. This guy knew his numbers. He had booked over 7,000 engagements in his career. He had 1,000 to 1 ratio is what he called it. He's reaching out to 1,000 people a day to book 10 to 20 discovery calls, and from those 10 to 20 discovery calls, he's going to close at least 1 to 2 gigs. 1,000 to 1 ratio. And from those 1 to 2 gigs, he would try to turn that into a week by using a block booking format, which is where I learned this from. You turn 1 gig into 2 gigs, 2 gigs into 3 gigs, 3 gigs into a tour, and you go to that city for the whole week. And all he'd have to do is reach out to 1,000 people. He knew he was going to get a week's worth of bookings out of that. He just knew his numbers. Like, I was reaching out to 100 people a week and I thought I was doing a lot. And he was like, Jared, that's going to take you 10 weeks to get what I get in a day. And it was just at that point I was like, oh, I just got to reach more people? Yeah, exactly. I was like, but I don't have any experience. I don't have this. I don't have. He said, it doesn't matter. Somebody's going to say yes to you. And when one person says yes, another person will say yes because that person said yes. And then once 2 people say yes, you can get 4 people. Once 4 people, you can get 8 people. You see how this works? Just keep reaching out. All right, now that brings me to life lesson number 3. If you don't automate outreach, you are going to get left behind. Outreach is exhausting. It takes time, it takes energy, and there is a lot of follow-up. That's why most people quit. It's a different time. You have to use tools and softwares. You have to automate this process. If you're a new speaker, you can't afford to hire all these people to play these parts. And why would you want to anyways? That's a headache to manage this many people and to train this many people. Use the tools. Automate everything. I'd automate someone taking a shit for me if I could. I mean, to be honest with you, there's a few things in life that I like to do. Everything else I'd automate. So for me, in my story, when I was doing this manually, I hated my life and I hated my job. But then I met this guy named Joseph. Joseph's a magical man. Joseph's a guru of automation. You see, I'm a speaker, so I'm a creative, and I'm kind of all over the place. I'm not very organized. I was keeping notes in my phone. I had Google Sheets. Google Sheets to me was like, oh my gosh, I'm so organized. I'm a man now, you know, I'm a business owner. I was still making hundreds of thousands of dollars, so that's why I was like, hey, it's working, but this sucks, and it's really hard. And he was like, dude, you could be making a lot more and actually do less, way less. And so he created my sales system based on what I was already doing, put it into a system, and we created Speakhyve. We didn't know at first that it was going to be a thing that we did for everybody else, but it just worked so well for me. And then it started working for some of my friends that were speakers. And then eventually like, dude, this is a business. Every speaker needs this. And so we started building outreach systems for speakers, started helping them automating their business, getting their time back. They don't have to have agents anymore. You don't need an agent. You don't need an agency. You don't need a bureau. You don't need any of that. Dude, I don't even have a TED Talk. I don't have a book. I don't have any of those things. I have none of the things that people have swore to me that I need. Everybody's trying to sell you something. You need this and then you'll book more stages. No, you don't. You just need to do more outreach. You need more no's to get more yeses. That's what it really takes. It takes you reaching out to more people. You can go get the book. You can go get the TED Talk. You can spend thousands of dollars on those things, but you're still going to have to do outreach, and you're still going to have to outreach a lot of people, because guess what? A lot of speakers have TED Talks. A lot of speakers have books. Those are two things that you just pay for. They're not even special anymore. You know how easy it is to become an Amazon bestseller? The only reason I haven't done it is because I literally want to prove to people that you don't have to have those things to be uber successful in this industry. I've been asked to do these things. I've been asked, hey dude, I could do this for you. I could write your book for you. I could make you an Amazon bestseller for $2,500. Like, I don't want none of those things. I don't need none of those things. You don't need none of those things. You just need to do more outreach, and you need to do that by automating it. So if you've made it this far in this video, let me just recap. No one really cares until you make them care. How do you make them care? You have to make them aware that you exist. You do outreach, but you can't do that much outreach by yourself, and you don't need to hire a bunch of people to do outreach for you. So you need to automate it. You need to use the systems, the tools, and the softwares that are available to us today in today's age, and get ahead so you don't get left behind. That's it for today's video. If you watch this far, I really think you will benefit from being a part of our Speakhyve boardroom. This is where we build outreach systems for our speakers, plus weekly coaching calls and all of our speaker resources. Everything that I have, you have, we are now doing this together. So link is down below. Click that, book a call, and I will see you in the next video.